Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie Yes, Madam that I shot in Hong Kong. It was the first movie that I did. And how this came about is I was on the West Coast demonstration team in Northern California, and we performed all over the world, and we were known as the best of the best in martial arts. So Yun Kuei was in Los Angeles, and he was here to audition for a guy. Seasonal Films was looking for a guy to be the next Bruce Lee. So he called our team leader, Ernie Reyes, and said, I'd like you to bring the guys down, for an audition. And Ernie Reyes said, well, what about the girls? And they said, yeah, well, you could bring them too, but, they're really looking for a guy. So we all went down, and there was a line of people sitting in chairs. Yun Kuei was in the center, and I did some self-defense moves. I did some form. I did some free sparring, and I did some weapons. And I remember it was at Heel Cho School. And I remember I hooked my hook swords together, and I started swinging them, and it hit his ceiling, and all this plaster came down. And he was like in the back, like screaming. But I was like, oh my God. Anyway, after the audition, Yun Kuei said, I want to go with a girl instead of a guy. So there I was off to Hong Kong in the mid 80s, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really do a movie before, I just saw Hong Kong movies in Chinese cinemas, and I said, okay, they're going to have me dressed as a Chinese girl, and I'm going to have long black braids, and I'm going to be whipping my head around with razor blades in them. So that's what I expected. And as I'm in the plane, I'm looking over, and I could see, the little boats in the water, and I was like, ooh, I feel like I'm coming in to Enter the Dragon, when they came to Hans Island. So I get to Hong Kong, and the first day I got there, I got in my hotel, and there was a monsoon. I could not leave my room for 3 days. There was no English on TV. I had no books, and I couldn't leave the hotel. I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? Okay, then the monsoon goes, and we start shooting. So keep in mind now, I have no idea of what filming is about. So I get there, and they say, okay, we film in no sound. In Hong Kong, they don't film with sound. Everything is dubbed in later on. And they said, okay, say this line. Never mind speaking English that I was nervous about on the film, but I had to speak Chinese. So they give me this line, and I forget what it was, but I remember it was a long line, and I was just going, yething, humma, 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 humma. I forgot the rest, so I kept going, humma, 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 humma. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, no, wait a minute. I said humma, 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 humma. They says, oh, it doesn't matter what you say because we just dub it over anyway. So I was like, well, why can't I say it in English then? Why do I have to say it in Chinese? They go, yeah, say whatever you want. So, okay, that was a learning experience for me. The second part was, if you remember in Yes, Madam, we have the opening of my character is the airport scene, coming into the airport. One of my favorite scenes ever. I'm working with Eddie Mayer, and we're doing this. He doesn't have a pad on. He just has a little tank top. And we do the fight scene, and Yun Kuei, I have to come back and hit him with an elbow. Well, Yun Kuei, this is my very first scene I'm shooting, and he's going, harder, Cindy, harder. And Eddie's in the back of my ear going, no, you're killing me. Don't hit me any harder. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I listen to the director? Do I listen to the actor? I had no clue what to do. And if you look, there's a phenomenal scene there where I jump off the wall and come around and do a kick, and I'm in a dress. So that took me a little while to get. That was pretty much a complicated move. But we shot all night. The airport was closed. I think we went in at midnight, and we finished at 5 in the morning. I was so nervous about shooting, I didn't sleep at all. So I had no sleep. And I remember Mong Hoi comes up to me and gives me a candy. And he says, here, take this. And it was ginger. And I don't like ginger. I can't eat ginger. And my face turned green, and my eyes must have bugged out. And he goes, you could spit it out. And I was like, okay. Then I didn't feel too good after I had the ginger. So that was my first night of shooting. Then I met Michelle Yeoh, and we became really, really good friends during this movie. We were kind of helping each other out because Yun Kuei just wanted everything so powerful, so strong. There's a scene in there where we're in the bathroom, and we don't have pads on. This was our second scene. We were so beat up and bruised. We were black and blue that the next day we come to fight, and we were cringing every time we fought. And Yun Kuei's like, no, this is no good. You're making faces, but it just hurts so much. So lesson number 2, wear pads, wear clothes. Don't worry about looking great. about covering up your body in pads. So that was another lesson that I learned. This film was supposed to take 4 months to shoot. We ended up doing 7.5 months of shooting. So I was there for quite a long time. What else can I remember? Let me see. I have a couple little notes here so I don't forget. Okay, so the next scene that I love, this is like one of my favorite scenes, is where I do an aerial on a stick and I land in a split on the wall. Okay, this was awesome. Even when I see it today, I look at it and go, oh my God. What we did for that scene is I had to get a stick and I had to do an aerial and kind of hit the wall with my foot and come back down. So we kept doing that, hit the wall, come back down. Then the next one, they put a little teeny ledge on the wall and my foot was on that ledge. My other foot was hanging. Now, if you could picture this, I'm on the stick. There's my foot, and my other foot was over my head. On action, I had to come up and hit my leg on the wall, so I'm in a split position. So in order to hold this move, what they did is they put 2 little holes in a wall. They put wire around my waist, and when they said action, my leg goes up, they pull me in, and I'm completely flat-lined on the wall. Completely. So I'm on the wall and they had to rig something up. So they said, do you want to come down or do you want to stay there? And me thinking, this is fine. I could stay in a split all day. Wrong. I was in that split for an hour and thinking, I don't want to be like a baby or a pussy and say, I can't do this. Let me off the wall. So I stayed on the wall for an hour. The next day, I couldn't walk for 3 days. My legs were so sore. During that movie, in the ending fight scene, I'm fighting with Dick Way. And people told me, now, I'm about 7 months there, 6 months there. And they're saying, you're going to have to fight with Dick Way. He's the hardest guy. He's going to kill you. He's going to hurt you. Right. And I'm thinking, oh, no. Right. So there's a scene where we're fighting and he hook kicks me. And Yoon Kwai wanted to speak a little bit of English. So he says, we do this scene and his foot stays on the wall and then comes back and hits me. Well, his foot didn't come right on the wall and Yoon Kwai goes, cut. So I go, cut. Yeah, that means stop. And Dick Way hits me in the head. He hits me in the head. I saw stars. This was the closest I have ever been to passing out. And all of a sudden I look and I have blood coming out of my ear. And I'm thinking, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I have blood coming out of my ear. I heard, I see it on movies, people die. So they say, okay, we need to take her to the doctors. So they take me to the Chinese doctor and he looks in there and he goes, yeah, it's pretty bad. You split your internal ear open, but it's in so deep, I can't do anything about it. So you could go back to the set. So we come back to the set and I'm like, oh my God, we have to do that scene again. He's going to hit my ear. Now it's hurt and it's bleeding. And Yoon Kwai goes, no, we got many, many good takes. We just keep doing it. And I was like, oh. So then I'm fighting with Dick Way and I kept going like this because I was afraid he was going to hit me in the ear again. And he said, and then it went fine. My second bad injury happened on this film. If you remember in the ending fight scene, I'm fighting a bunch of guys with my stick and they have swords, right? Well, the timing is just so crazy. I mean, everything is going so fast that you kind of are on automatic pilot. You're just doing your moves. And I turned and the other guy's timing was off and he hit me right in the nose with the sword. Okay, all of a sudden, when you get hit in the nose, how it hurts. My eyes are tearing, my nose is swollen, and Yoon Kwai comes over to me and he looks at me and he goes, your nose looks better now. And then that was it. Then he walks away. It's going, oh my God. I mean, that ending fight scene took over a month just to shoot that, but it's awesome. I mean, I heard Sylvester Stallone was looking at that scene with his stunt guys because the stunt guy told me, and he said, how do they do this? How do they do that? And that scene where the guy gets kicked and he falls off the glass balcony into a fountain of glass is real. People were saying that's not a real person. Yes, he was real and he did that. And yes, he did get a few injuries on that part. So that was my experience filming in Hong Kong. I've learned that, oh my God, you can get killed doing these movies. You are going to get badly beaten and bruised, but you don't give up and you don't say, I can't do it. You just keep doing it and keep doing it until you get it over with. And after the movie finished, it became a phenomenal hit in Hong Kong. And I thought I would just do one movie. You know, I thought I'm just going to do Yes, Madam. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I'm going to be on a poster and maybe someday I'll have kids and they could say, yeah, look at your mom. Your mom had a little part in a movie, right? She was on a poster. So it was phenomenally successful. Right after that, that's when Golden Harvest asked to continue my contract and shoot some more movies. So then I went on to shoot Shanghai Express. But, you know, this movie, gosh, it's like 30 years old, right? And if you look at it today, if you look at that movie today, the fighting still holds up. You still look at that fight scene and go, wow, that's great. And you got to keep in mind, in that movie, there is no CGI. We did some wire work, but no CGI at all. That is pure martial art people fighting in that. And that's what I love. And I think that's where my heart is. I love shooting those movies, even though when I was in Hong Kong, I kept thinking, I'm going to get killed on the next one. I'm going to get killed on the next one. Well, then I'd heal up and I'd go, when's the next one? When's the next one? So I went up and down, up and down. But if you get a chance, check that movie out, Yes, Madam, with Michelle Yeoh. And I think you'll really enjoy it, especially like the fight scenes, because most brilliant choreography ever. And I tell you, you know, a lot of people wanted to go to Hong Kong and shoot movies. It's a tough business there because they mean business. The fighting, the hitting is real. It's not fake. It's not light. I remember when I was shooting China O'Brien, I was hitting the stuntmen really, really hard. And they were like, hey, this is in Hong Kong. You don't have to hit us so hard. And I just kept thinking of Yoon Kwai saying harder, harder, harder. So I had to train myself that it isn't that realistic. You know, you can lightly touch or not touch. But even if you look in the movies, you know, you get hit in the face. You get hit in the face with kicks and punches. And it's a crazy world. But it was a world I love and a world I would love to be back into. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes of Yes, Madam. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also on the comments, if there is something you would like to ask me, please feel free to, and I will do my best to do a video for you. Okay, thank you. God bless, and see you next time. Hi, this is Cynthia Rothrock. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And if you like the videos, please put a like on it and refer it to your friends.